All right, good morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Friday. TGIF. See who's here today. First things first. Let me take off my headphones. I don't need those on, so I don't have a guest today. But welcome, Candace. Good morning, Mountain Finance. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in today on Friday. It's Remembrance Day today, so hopefully everybody takes some time for that. I don't know. Some people I think are off work. Some places are closed. Some places are open for Remembrance Day. It's always kind of a odd time, but to know what's happening with lots of stuff. But take some time today to at least to think about Remembrance Day. Abigail, welcome. Coffee is ready. I've got my coffee mug today too. Just made a fresh cup of coffee, and speaking of coffee. Good morning, Sharma and Sakina. Good morning, welcome. Speaking of coffee, I checked Amazon today, and my favorite coffee's on sale for $10.99 a pound. So I'm gonna make an order for some coffee today. It's always a good day when it's almost like half price. Because I actually bought some the other day. I always check Amazon, Kicking Horse Coffee, and it was more. So I keep an eye on it. When it comes down to $10.99, I buy it, and I buy a bunch. Last me. Good morning, Dan. Welcome. It's I guess, I mean, as we finished the live stream yesterday, we had everybody, I think, had a really good day on the market. What was it, like the biggest increase in how? I mean, I don't know how many years. I think 12 years, like one day jump or something like that. I could be wrong on the numbers as always, but it was yeah, pretty good day. See a bit of obviously the CPI print in the States down, and well, still high, but lower than expected. So that kind of had a good effect for the market anyways. And it's funny kind of looking today at it. I mean, we're still up. We're in the green today in general, but it's not like we're rocketing like crazy. And it almost seems like, what's going on? Should we keep going? But it doesn't always doesn't happen the way. But I think if we can end off the week in a little bit in the green, I think that's always a good thing, except for all the disaster that's happening in the crypto space right now. But we can always talk about that if people want to. But if anybody has any topics, as always, welcome. We do the live streams for people that are just tuning in, or maybe tuning in for the first time, or watching this on a replay. We always do the live stream 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time, typically Monday to Friday. Try and get every day in there. I always do post it on the channel beforehand, so you can see that going and get notified when it is live. The odd time we might not, for whatever scheduling conflicts I have with work, we might not always get a live stream, but for the most part, I'm doing pretty good, doing once a day for the weekdays, which is great. And thanks for everybody that's tuned in. We seem to get more and more faces and people jumping in every time, which is awesome. And Kicking Horse is pretty good. I buy the Kicking Horse, Sharma. I buy the Kicking Horse. I should link it on the community tab on the channel later, because it's a really good deal, number one. But it's also I buy the Three Sisters one. It's like a blend. It's my favorite one. Yeah, and decent. And you can sometimes get a decent price. Yeah. And what's Candace doing today? My selling off crypto for day trading funds does not seem to. Yeah. I guess that's one way to look at it. Not so bad. It's such a. This is the thing with crypto, and I see Nadia's question popping up too. And we can talk about that. It's such an early. We're so early, right? It's just, I think you don't have to. You have time to suss it out and not have to worry about not being in it. I don't think. Probably not a bad thing if you can. It's a good lesson, I guess, if you think you can make something better, more money on some type of other investment, then why not, right? Even if you are selling for a loss, I guess just do your research and figure out what you are comfortable doing. Like, I know a lot of, I don't know, Candace, what all crypto you had, and obviously Bitcoin you sold for your day trading, for your day trading fund. I think a lot of people that buy Bitcoin though just buy it and hold it, and so it's not necessarily, they kind of don't really, I don't want to say sweat the small stuff. It's not small stuff because it took in a big drop, but a lot of people just buy it, take it off of the exchange and just buy in buy and hold. So, and Candace made back. There you go. Perfect. So it all works out in the wash. And if you have fun doing it, I guess that's part of it. I think I think investing should be fun as well, and if you're speculating on certain things, take a small portion of stuff and uh, do what you enjoy, And on that note, with investing, yeah, Nadia's a good friend of mine. I messaged her yesterday. So I bought an NFT yesterday, and it was interesting. And the thing with if people don't know what NFTs are, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and you'll probably recognize ape or monkey pictures that people buy. But there's an NFT platform it's on called Stargaze, and it's on the Cosmos crypto ecosystem. Basically, it's built off that, and it's got its own token. The tokens are called stars. They're really inexpensive, in relative speaking. In terms of comparing it to Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything like that. But on Stargaze, there was a new this NFT came out, and it was they made 300, and it was all the proceeds, and then all the royalties of it go towards a charity that's building a school for children in Uganda. So if you bought the NFT, it all the proceeds from that, and it was about $7 US. It wasn't very expensive by any means, but all those proceeds from the 300 go to the charity for the school, and it all is done through. This is what's really amazing with the technology behind crypto blockchain is if any of these NFTs resell in the secondary market, because you can sell them in the marketplace, there's an 8% royalty. So the person selling gets 92% of the proceeds. 8% automatically gets, because of through the blockchain and smart contracts, 8% goes right to the charity to help build the school. So they're already kind of trading. People are already reselling them, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of fun. I kind of jumped on that, and it's like this goofy picture of a crayon. I don't know if I can share it somehow, but anyways, it's a goofy picture of a. I should share it on my community tab. It's like a crayon drawing of a monkey, and there was all looked like kids' drawings, basically. So that was kind of fun. That's what I kind of did yesterday. That was kind of my thing. So it was good. Zach, good morning. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. I was actually going to talk with as Candace and everybody mentions, like with losing loss on Bitcoin. I did notice today it pops up. I do like how I always check out what's kind of trending on Yahoo with some of the stocks that are trending. So it always shows you what's trending up, trending down. But I can share this one in the screen. We talk about how volatile assets can be. I don't think anything is necessarily spared in any category, because Algonquin today, Q3 loss. This is kind of a popular stock in Canada, right? AQN is down over 14% today because of Q3 loss, and they're cutting basically for the full year ahead. So that's, I guess there's two ways to look at this. Not good if you. Yeah, they came in on. There you go. So it came in under estimates, and so I guess there's a couple ways to look at this. Not so great if you have that, but opportunity if you've been thinking of buying it. And I know a few people have mentioned in chats and in comments on the channel to look at AQN, and I don't own any, and I mean no plans for me to buy any, but it might be something for people to look at. I think we always kind of say it. As soon as I think as we start to hopefully eventually move out of this bear territory, we'll be happy that we got some of these prices with a lot of things, with whatever you decide that you're investing in. It all will come around. Just seems, obviously things get just it's these wild swings that are just like it's insane to see these wild big swings on stocks. I mean I've never I've never experienced it. So I think if we're getting through this time, we can probably, we'll look back and go, what the heck? Like, seriously, that was a crazy year. So hopefully, I think coming out the other side will be maybe stronger from it. But it's pretty, it's definitely, if you get through this, I think you can probably get through anything until we have the next until we have the next, bear market. But it just seems to be really lots happening out there. It's hard to it's definitely hard, I think, to keep track. That's why I think I'm just kind of keeping my focus on what I'm trying to accumulate. Did I cut Disney Plus yet? No. It's funny that I put that short on my channel. And welcome, Julius. Thanks for your comment. I put that short on my channel from Christian Freeland. We talked about that the other day, but it's gotten a lot of people viewing. I think different people seeing the channel from that. The shorts are always kind of interesting. They're not necessarily what I focus on the channel, but sometimes from time to time I'll put something on there just to more so to have a little just a little fun. But yeah, I have not cut Disney Plus. I did cut, Julius, I have cut off StreamYard. That's my subscription that I cut off. And I don't know if anybody else in the channel has mentioned what they're cutting back on. I know there was one, I think it was Wife's hubby was not going to buy lottery tickets for a year and invest in something. So I cut off as everybody knows, I cut off StreamYard and I'm buying Brookfield Asset Management. So I'll buy a fractional share every month. So cut that back. But although I did notice with StreamYard, because it's a free version now, because I'm trying to save money, it limits you to a certain number of hours per month. So I have to, if we've been noticing the streams maybe ending a little bit earlier, I'm rationing my hours to make sure it all fits in. Because if it doesn't, I'll have to figure out a solution in order to do that. So I think 45-minute live streams will get me through a month for the most part. We'll see how that goes. Towards the end of the reset, my streams might only be 5-10 minutes. We'll see. Unless I find another solution on its own. I haven't looked at, because I know like StreamYard is great because it has the green screen and it's very easy to set up. So Candace is not selling Disney Plus. Yeah. Or sorry, not canceling her Disney Plus. I'm a Star Wars geek too. Not so much of a Marvel person. I rented that last Batman movie with I can't remember his name on the tip of my tongue. You would know if you're a Marvel person. And the last Batman movie. Anyways, I didn't really like it. I found it too slow. Parts were good, but I felt like it could have cut to the chase a bit better. And everybody was whispering the whole movie. It felt like, I don't know, it's just me. Wasn't my favorite one. I think still one of the most recent best. Oh, I'm sorry. Batman is DC. Sorry, I'm lumping them all in together there. You can tell I'm not a comic person, but the last Batman that was really good was the Christopher Nolan one with Heath Ledger. That was good. And Dan got rid of Bell Satellite, $60 a month. There you go. That's pretty good. I know, you're taking that, Dan, and putting it into anything in particular, or you're just keeping it in the bank, like just for expenses, cutting back that way? Because I know some people, like, I'm cutting back to buy a fractional share, and but it'd be interesting to see if you're buying anything in particular. One, like I'm buying Brookfield, so I can just use that funds in that one stock, so I can kind of see how it does over the year, see what happens. And yeah, I know, sorry, I mixed up my comics. I was never really big into comics as a kid. Never really. I mean, adults can buy comics too. If you collect stuff, it's awesome. Everybody's got something that they collect, for sure. That's always I'm trying to think if I collect stuff. Really, not really anymore. I guess camera stuff, that would be my thing. Collect pictures. More ETFs. Yeah. Do you have any, what's your Dan? What's your main? Do you have a main one that you buy? I know there's a few in the channel. Well, obviously VFE is a popular one, BTC.Y, and the what's the other one? XEQ. I always forget it. XEQF, something like that. The ETF of ETFs. Someone in the comment that owns it will pop up and say what one we mean. It's crazy how expensive cable is, though. High yield, HYLD. Okay, awesome. That's good. So $60 is that'll add up over that'll add up over the year. It's pretty crazy as you see stuff. You know, you look at what your bill's coming through. I'm still looking at other things to do. Like I was looking at I'm on Twitter all the time, and there's that new subscription for Twitter, and I'm like, part of me kind of, because I've been in Twitter for so long, part of me kind of wants it, but then part of me is like, I don't want to spend the $10 just for a check mark if I don't need it. We'll see. I don't know. I think it will really depend on what kind of other features and stuff they add to it, whether it makes sense or not. But in terms of subscriptions, yeah, I don't really have anything else that I can get. I personally can get rid of. I got rid of the StreamYard. I have Netflix still. I do use Amazon. I could probably get away without Amazon, but because when I usually order like over a certain amount anyway, so shipping would be free. So it's like, do I really need to get next day shipping or same day shipping all the time? I could see, but it's not that much. And they actually have some decent, sometimes on Amazon Prime, they have some okay movies and shows the odd time. I watch Top Gear on there when it comes out. So I haven't canceled that one yet. Those are the two kind of main subscriptions for me. I don't have Disney Plus. And AQN I pulled up. There was another one I was going to pull up today that was on a more of a good note. Let's pull this up. There we go. Shopify. Shopify is doing well today. For people that bought Shopify, I know some of the people on the channel bought it when it was way down, and there was also, and I can't remember who it was. It was someone bought. I know someone bought on. I know someone bought ARK, and I can't remember who on the channel bought ARK, and it went like crazy yesterday. I forget who it was, and it was like, I think it was it even said, I think on the channel, it was like they left a comment on one of my community posts, I think, and it was like their first ETF they ever bought, and they must have bought. They did well. They've done well the last little bit because it had a huge increase yesterday and up today as well. So everybody seems to be wanting to go more risk lately. And what's Candace doing today? Okay, day trading today, MSC. Okay, we can always pull these up. From Manulife, yeah. They must have had, hold on, let's switch this page. Did they have, they must have had earnings or something like that, Candace, I don't know. Let's see what's showing up here. I can add this. There we go, Manulife. They must have post earnings or something. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yesterday, like estimates. Oh, earnings yesterday. Okay, or 2 days ago. I guess did it not drop? Yeah, it dropped a couple days ago. I remember seeing that pop up, Candace. So if we do the day, yeah, good. If you've made a bit of money on there, those are days. So yeah, if you bought a couple days ago, it dropped off. There we go. Good for you. That's awesome. It's always nice. Yeah, the earnings were down. It's a hurricane, right? From the hurricane. And then there you go. But then it blew up anyways. Wrote that up. wrote it up and take your money and run. Nothing wrong with that. Follow Candace for more stock tips. I'm still waiting for there you go. That's always nice to hear. It's nice to hear when people make money on stuff. You'll have to do your day trading video on your channel. Or you could have just a cam going in the background as you're doing it live. We just watch what actually happens. I have no idea on that with your mom. I'll probably have like I imagine like 3 or 4 monitors all set up with different charts, watching stuff, and like a dark room, and just not paying attention to anything else except the screens in front. That's what I imagine day traders doing, putting themselves in a room and just having no one bug them to have to really pay attention. I wouldn't be able to do it. No, I wouldn't be able to do it. It's definitely not my forte on that. So Manulife's doing good. So yeah, we're doing good. Like it's nice. It's nice to see a bit of green. It just would be nice. I mean, for me, I can only speak for myself personally. I wish there wasn't so much happening with the in the crypto space, but that's what crypto does. So part of it, I think it's part of the ride that people get into crypto, or it's part of that they I guess are suckers for punishment. So red candles make me money when I check it about 6 months later. Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm definitely buy and hold. There we go. So ultra wide monitor, another monitor, and my laptop. See, I called it right. So 3. I said 3. There you go. That's what I figured. Everything on different places. Keep an eye on stuff. Good for you. If you enjoy it, that's awesome. Yeah, that's exactly it, Justin. Long term, I think it weeds out the exchanges. Companies are actually, it will, and I guess that's kind of a good thing. Like there's nobody to bail them out, so the market does its thing, and you take that risk, right? When you take that risk when you invest. And I think it just goes to show, like with exchanges and different places, is if you're buying something, I think take it off so it's not on there. It's for crypto. Yeah, take it off and keep custody of it yourself, so you have the flexibility to do with it what you want, so it's not locked up and not able to get, and the companies aren't using it to trade other things. But again, like if you look at, I think Coinbase today is doing quite well. Like if you look at ones that have a bit more, the public companies and things that have not necessarily as fully regulated yet, but if you look at the companies that aren't using it in bad ways, they'll benefit from this, and I think the market will weed all of that out. But there's going to be definitely blood in the streets, and in the meantime. But it's just everybody, that's what kills it, right? It's like the leverage and just the market getting greedy brings it all down, and it will sort itself. It will sort itself out eventually. And so if you look at it that way, I mean, it's not necessarily a good thing right now, but if you we'll look back and go, okay, it's weeding all these bad actors out. It's a benefit, I think, but it will probably set back the price for a while. But if you're long term on it, this is a little blip, but obviously a bigger blip, like more like a kind of a black swan for the crypto space, with the failures. But again, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. And if you have eggs in a basket on an exchange with crypto, don't have it there, or not a large portion of it. Yeah. And yeah, there's a whole bunch coming out with this, Justin. I've only like kind of just started to there's as this all happens, right? They filed for bankruptcy today. They said the U.S. operations were going to be fine, but the U.S. operations filed for bankruptcy. Yeah, they were basically trying to do that, but then there's a whole it's messy and ugly. Yeah, with what was going on there. So there'll be a lot coming out of it, I'm sure. It literally just happened like a few days ago, so it's very fresh what's going on. So till we find out what actually happened, and realizing there's no, where the money went, and was there actually any money in the first place? It's always people get greedy, and then everything comes down. Doesn't look good. I guess it doesn't necessarily look good for like. The big thing with Bitcoin is in the States, especially. We have the ETFs here in Canada, but the big thing in the States is to try and get a Bitcoin spot price ETF, and that just hasn't happened yet. And I think this will just kind of keep setting things back, which is unfortunate, because as soon as that happens, I think it gives more opportunity for investors and larger pension funds and that kind of stuff to invest in that in the States. That would be good for the good for the price, but things like this happen, and it just sets everything. I think it sets everything back, and is inviting more regulation, which necessarily isn't a bad thing, depending how you look at it, right? How much can it really be regulated is another story, but that's a whole thing. If people know what Bitcoin does and is, they realize that you can't really control it. You can you can try, but at the end of the day, you can transfer and move it wherever you wish to whoever you wish. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. If I know people that are following the channel, I've had a few questions about like the Wealthsimple crypto, and it seems to be, I want to say it always seems to be fairly safe until it's not. But I would still recommend, if you're able to take it off any exchange. But the Wealthsimple one, I did a bit of reading on that, and they're not using it as as leverage anywhere else. They're keeping it. They say they're keeping it offline storage. So there seems to be a bit more security that way. I don't think they're doing anything as nefarious than these other companies. But then again, these other companies said they weren't either. So that's just, I guess, maybe something to be just double check. They do have a great thread on their Twitter from the head of crypto at Wealthsimple, talking about how they store it securely, that kind of stuff. So just something to be aware of for people if they decide to want to invest in that place. Most of the tokens that you can buy on Wealthsimple are you can transfer. Most of them you can buy and then transfer off, though, to keep them in your own wallet, which is probably the best thing to do. Especially Bitcoin, it's easy to have a setup, get a hardware wallet. You can buy a hardware wallet, from Ledger is one of them. It's about $100. It's worth it. Keep it secure, and it doesn't really. It's easy to do. Once you transfer it once, it's pretty straightforward. Scary the first time, but then quite easy. Yeah, that's these live streams are always fun. I just want to say thanks for coming in, everybody. Always appreciate it. Made it through the week. I haven't done any purchases on my thing yet. Payday was today, but there's never it's always more bills. But probably next payday we'll do another deposit, add into the thing. I think we'll just keep going on. I did buy, as we're talking about Bitcoin, I did buy a little bit of Bitcoin on Shakepay this morning, but I do my dollar cost average there anyways. But I just, like, what I did for the day is I just kind of doubled it because the price was down. So I'm just hopefully taking a bit of advantage of that and transferred it off this morning. already. And actually, somebody signed up for Shakepay. Speaking of that, for people that don't know, Shakepay, I always have a link like in my video descriptions about Shakepay and someone signed up, so they got $10, which is awesome, and I got $10, so that's what I used to buy $10 in Bitcoin today. So that was awesome. And then I did it's fun because if you sign up through if other people sign up through the thing, they can make sure you do the shake. I'm on day 337, almost a year of shaking, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna make it. I better make it. I better not. I have my alarm goes off every morning. If I forget, it always sends me a reminder to shake. So I'm like so close to a year. I don't want to lose that now. I don't know if anybody does anybody. I know Candace, if you're still watching, you use Shakepay. What streak is everybody on if they have it, if they use it? It's always kind of interesting to see how people are doing with Shakepay. Let me know in the comments. And that's an easy way to kind of basically, it's free to do. Once you deposit your initial amount, you do have to put it's still $100. You put $100 in, you get $10. You can cash that all right away. You'll lose that spread, but it's $10. I mean, you can take it, but you can buy Bitcoin with it or whatever with the $100. Sell it, and then you can do your shake. You're only on 20 days. Ooh, that's not good. But it adds up. That's the thing. Like you make. I think I'm kind of shaking. It's close. I mean, obviously it depends what the price, right? But I get. I think it's 9. I'd have to look here. I think I get 975. I get 975 satoshis a day. So it works out to it's kind of about 20 cents right now, which is kind of cool. Kind of adds up for doing this, like shaking your phone. Oh, you went camping. Yeah, that's the problem with leaving out of service areas. And I didn't go camping really this summer. I didn't have a lot of time, but it's if you go somewhere where there's no cell reception, I would always think like if I did, I'd have to leave my phone with somebody and say like, can you just put this up every morning and just give it a shake so I don't forget. Yeah, that's going to be hard if you ever go on holidays or something and you don't have data or you're away from town. 75 days. There's some people like if you see like some people have been doing it for like 1,000 days or more. That's just crazy. Some people must have built like a machine. They can put their phone on, like build a machine you can put your phone on, and every day it opens up and like taps. There's like a robot taps it, opens the app, and then it like jiggles it. That would be a good thing. There's a good little business. You could 3D print it or something just to shake your phone once a day. If you're away, you put it on it. But eventually, Justin, there'll be Starlink everywhere. So we'll have access to data everywhere, and then we can still shake. I've shaked the total. What's my total? Over 260,000. So that's, I don't know, that's probably over $50, I guess. Yeah, over $50 for doing nothing. That's pretty good. Kind of adds up. And an easy way to kind of start stacking Bitcoin. So is anybody buying anything today? That would be a question for everybody out there. Obviously, Candace made her money today on Manulife Financial. Is anybody else kind of adding to the thing? Be interesting. It's always interesting to hear what people are doing. I think it's if you're in AQN, maybe a decent time if you're wanting to add more of that. What else is kind of happening today? if you made money on Shopify, maybe sell. I don't know. I'm not a big Shopify person, so it's kind of interesting. Oh, I did have a question, and maybe some people actually in the in the ch- in the chat can help this out. Is I had and I'll get to my question. So XEG, your favorite oil ETF, high div, HDiv, high yield, DIV. You talked about DIV in your channel, Candace and BK. There we go. No, the question I had, I guess, for everybody here, and I haven't really been following them. I sold, and that's what I do too. Yeah, that's kind of which is kind of everything sometimes. But I know what you mean. I don't try and I don't FOMO into for some reason I stick with my plan, and if I I still buy it if it's red and down. I try not to jump in on a huge day like yesterday, like everybody else. A lot of people do, but. The question I had was on the channel, actually. Someone left me a comment because if people that have been following for a long time know, I owned the Cineplex stock and I sold it and actually made a bit of money, which was awesome, which was nice to have. And I that's something I have to get better at, but I haven't paid attention to it since selling it because I just didn't bother. I basically took my money and ran. And I know it dropped from kind of looking at glancing every once in a while, but I know it did drop again, but it's gone up, and it had good earnings again, coming back. It seems to be. And someone actually asked me and basically the comment. I can pull up the comment on my channel. It was they were asking, and someone could maybe help this out. Just update your thoughts on it after the latest earnings. Does anybody still own Cineplex or are thinking of buying it or whatever? And then what I'll do is I'll direct this live stream to that comment, maybe help them out, because I haven't really been following it. I haven't paid attention. I kind of do that. If I get rid of something, I'm not going to necessarily pay attention to it too much. So let me know thoughts on that. It was kind of one of the big COVID, COVID play resurgence stocks that panned out for a bit, didn't. It's much kind of like the expectations with Air Canada, and then just Air Canada just can't, it's doing okay, but it just can't seem to get its leg up, never seemed to get its leg back up, again. But we'll see how time plays out with that. I think with Air Canada, I think as a long term, it's probably not a bad one either to kind of hang on to, but I don't know about Cineplex. So if anybody has any thoughts on that. So there we go. Always insightful. If Cineplex did that well with Hollywood not pumping up movies as fast as normal, they might be in good shape as Hollywood keeps ramping up. Yeah. What I'm seeing more and more, though, I know, Candace, is a lot of movies and stuff, and it's interesting to see how much Cineplex is maybe impacted by places like Disney Plus, Netflix. It's obviously having an impact, right? Because you see a lot of Netflix movies coming out. There's a lot of stuff goes straight to Disney Plus. I'm wondering if that will continue as stuff shifts more to streaming than movies. I don't know. I'm more of I like watching movies. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy watching movies at home more than the theater. Even for a big blockbuster movie. I rented Top Gun, and it was good. It's a good movie, and I can watch it at home with my headphones on. Sounds good, and then nobody's sitting around me, chewing on, making noise, rustling, talking. It's just, I find it better to enjoy a movie at home. So whether that will continue, I don't know. But I know a lot of people do like going out to see movies. I guess I liked it more when I was younger. I would go out, right? You'd go with a group of friends and watch the new movie. But that was before kind of, again, I always seem to date myself, but that was before iPads and everything you could watch. You could hunker down and watch a movie, or even big screens, that kind of stuff, and good sound at home. But I haven't been to a movie. I can't remember the last movie I went and saw. It's got really expensive. Number one, even 3 years ago, 4 years ago was probably the last movie I saw, and I can't remember what one I went and saw. I really can't remember. Yeah, I guess that I get that, right? Like I do get that. But for me, I guess I guess I'm maybe a hermit, but I find that part of it annoying, because I like to go to a movie and enjoy it and listen to it and watch it, not be distracted by people getting up and walking around, like coming by to get out. And although there is those newer theaters that have like the nice reclining chairs, and they have the nice almost table in front of you, and you're kind of in a pair chair, so it's not as disruptive that way. It's just my personal preference for viewing a movie. Maybe I might be the minority in that, but hopefully they do well. You always don't want businesses to fail, right? But yeah, that was bring that back. People want to go out. And it's the VIP one. It's worth it. And they have cinemas without kids too, right? Adult only viewings and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the way. I mean, if you're gonna spend the money for a night out, you might as well do it right. Yeah. And that was probably that was what we did last time that I went out to a movie. I just can't remember what movie it was. It must have been that. It was obviously that good. But the last movie I rented was Top Gun, which was good. I like that one. I like those, like, it's kind of it was good. It's like a no-brainer. And it had the nice nods to the, back to the original a little bit, the little Easter eggs, and not Easter eggs, but like the little nods to the original movie that were kind of fun. Yeah, that's it. They serve a meal, like you go to like the lounge ahead of time, and then you can get food, and then they'll bring snacks out to you and stuff like that. That's the way to do it. That's a bit more of an experience than watching a movie. So I'll pass this time at the live stream to the person to see how we're doing, if they want to buy. But it's up now. You should have got it. You should have got it before, I guess, would be what to do. Anyways. But I haven't been to a movie. I couldn't even tell you how much a movie costs anymore. I can't remember. Probably not cheap. Especially if you have to go with if you're going on with, going on a date or going out with family. I could only imagine. That's why probably Disney Plus and Netflix and stuff are so popular. And Disney Plus, especially with kids, you can rent that for them, pay that for the month, and it's 1 month is cheaper than going out one time to the movies with a family. That's for sure. There we go. Well, we're coming up to the end. These streams always go fast. They're always fun, and it's always nice to check in. I guess a quick update on the channel, as we always like to end that off. Almost at the right, and I gotta jump on that. Yeah, me too. I have no idea. Like, these silly things. You're like, I don't know how much that costs anymore. It's from lack of. I'm a homebody. I think maybe you're as well, but I'm a homebody. I work all day at home, and then I go out for my walk and take my pictures, and I don't go out to restaurants and stuff. I don't do that on the weekends and that kind of thing. I like to relax. That's just me. So I couldn't tell you how much a movie costs. I should look it up. I'll go on the Cineplex website and see how much it's going to cost me, and I'll probably be shocked. I'd be like, forget that. I'm not going to a movie. Yeah. So update on the channel. So we're almost, the channel just passed 90,000 views, which was awesome. That was a couple days ago, posted on my channel. So that's pretty cool. That I think is not fully accurate, because there's a few shorts I posted, and shorts always seem to sometimes get, like, for some random reason, a few thousand views out of nowhere. And milk, I don't know how much milk costs either. I don't drink milk because I have my coffee black. And if I ever buy, and I do like cream, totally getting sidetracked, but I do like cream in my coffee from time to time. But I'll only put it in if I'm going out for a coffee. I'll put it in because it's there. I won't buy it at home because I won't use it enough. I won't use enough milk or cream. It'll go sour before I use it all in my coffee. Because I typically only have like a cup of coffee a day, right, in the morning. So it just goes bad, and it's not worth. And again, my cheapness, I won't buy the little one because they're too, like, you buy a little one and it's a quarter of the size of a bigger one, but it's like, if you work out the price, it costs more money. So I'm like, forget that. I'm not paying extra for that. It's like buying a can. It's like buying a can of pop. Can of pop at the store costs you, what is it, $1? I mean, it's probably more than $1 now. Say the can costs $1, but you can buy a 2-liter bottle for $1.99 or whatever it costs now. I don't know. I don't buy that stuff, but yeah. So that's kind of that. I can tell you how much coffee and like staples and stuff cost, like coffee, rice, that kind of thing, but not certain things that I never buy. But going anyway, so back on track with the channel. I love that. I love getting sidetracked. All the views, some of them shorts, obviously. So thanks everybody that's watching, and thanks to the people that are finding the channel, excuse me, and watching the old videos. Really appreciate it. We're almost at 4,000 watch hours. I think it will be there. I think it's going to be another month. If I kind of break it down, it probably will be about a month, maybe a month and a bit, unless for some reason I get a gazillion people joining a live stream or watching, a lot of videos. But that's the trajectory I'm anticipating. So hopefully by the new year, it will be monetized, which would be nice. And then starting in the new year, I can kind of start fresh and see what happens. So that's always kind of fun for the channel. So, you know what, Hannes, but it's close, because this, like, last month, I can pop in and like look, because in the last month, and actually it's actually the last 90 days less. It's weird because it is kind of on the verge, because it's jumped so much. The hours are up like quite substantially, over 150, like over 150%. So it's kind of hard to kind of gauge it. But going back, like the last 3 months have been really good, but I've been doing streams for about a month, and that's helped. But then the other stuff has helped. So it's all kind of compounding. So it's hard to kind of estimate. I'm kind of going with, if I'm averaging it out over a year, I'm thinking a month, but it might actually be sooner. Pretty close. If everybody that is subscribed to the channel goes and watches an less than an hour now, but watches an hour, it would be well over. So close. We'll see. The live streams, more people are tuning in, so it's always nice when people, because the live streams count. People are rewatching the live streams, so I do have to get better on kind of inviting people back to watch some of these other videos. And there, yeah, put on the streams you missed on the background. Exactly. I guess that's one way to do it. Some people I guess find the live streams helpful. I do save the comments will get posted if people are watching in the replay. So there's a lot of they can come back and watch. It's obviously on the screen, but if there's other comments I don't always get to, they get posted back on the live stream. It does take a while for the YouTube to process it, so it kind of takes, I think, about a day before those comments will show up. All the comments will show up, but they're all there. People can join, so people do watch on stuff. And other than that, going forward, I'll do the update of the portfolio after. I'll film it after today closes, which I always kind of do for the end of the week, so we can track up and see how the week did. Decent week, I guess. It's probably not going to be the greatest because of crypto and what I hold in crypto in my TFSA, but the other holdings are doing okay, which is good. It's nice to see that bit of an increase on that kind of stuff. So on the channel, and we'll just keep going with that. I do appreciate all the views. It's awesome. The live stream's a lot of fun. It's kind of fun to just come on ramble, have my coffee, learn a few things, and as people go, and it's good because in the live streams, like more and more people join every day. It's we usually get a lot of the regulars, which is awesome, and then there's always kind of one or two pop in that can chime in and help us out, and it's always good. So we'll leave it at that. We're coming up to the hour. We've gone trying to do basically 40 because I have to save my. It's funny how we save my hours. Great last question. So if anybody, if I was just basically going to say, if anybody has any last questions, comments, fire them up before we take off at the top of the hour. But that is yes, I do have a savings account. I keep mine at I have mine actually at Wealthsimple. Just because it's just kind of simple to have it in. Partly because it's I do have some it's in just a savings account, and I have it there because it's something I don't have. I don't want to say I don't have access to it. I do have access to it, but it's kind of off on the side and just kind of sits there. The interest rate's whatever. It's 1.5%. Hopefully that goes up. I don't move it around. I just kind of leave it there. It's there. And yeah. So that's where I keep mine. Another good savings place is Tangerine, has usually decent interest rates on there. And I know my main bank is CIBC, and they have a savings kind of bonus savings. I have a small, I obviously have your checkings and savings account, and the way their savings account works is if you increase the balance each month, it gives you bonus interest kind of thing. You have to just kind of look around. But good question here. Looking at cash ETFs, curious if I didn't know. I do have, like, if you watch, I have, which I find is actually doing okay, is that like the venture fund right now is sitting in the Purpose US Cash Fund ETF, and I have been looking at a Canadian cash into those, and I know Purpose does have a Canadian. It's like a high interest, ETF, along the same lines. Partly to put, because usually what happens is I put money in my RSP, or not my RSP, sorry, my TFSA, and then I usually invest it right away. But I'm thinking of probably having a bit of cash in there as well. And I've been looking for a cash ETF as well. So if anybody has any questions, let me, or questions, suggestions, let me know. But Dan, check out the Purpose one. There is a Purpose Canadian cash ETF, and then you have a US one as well. That might be somewhere to kind of look at. And it trades on Wealthsimple, so you can find that one. But but my emergency fund is just in regular savings. And yeah, that's a good way to end it, Candace. Where we go? We'll pull up Candace's last. So PSA, yeah, there we go. Yeah, you found it. Happy to hopefully that helped a little bit for you. And since we're coming to the end of the hour here, we'll just say that. Have a good Remembrance Day, everybody. Thanks, Candace. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, wow, everybody that came in. Justin, all the regulars. Dan, we had Nadia here. We had Abigail, and Zach was in first thing as well. So I do appreciate everybody coming through, and have a great weekend, everybody. And we'll catch you all in the next video, but live stream back on Monday. Thanks. Take care.